I love Skibidi Toilet. The other day, one of my editors sent me a video by Sion where he reviews kids getting brutally killed in the most horrific ways possible. However, a few days later, we came across a similar video by Hilal where he also coincidentally reviews kids getting brutally killed in the most horrific ways possible. But upon further inspection, we realized that Hilal had potentially allegedly ripped Sion's thumbnail by zooming further into the picture to cut off the original text, and he just slapped his face on top of Sion's face because you can actually still see Sion's hair sticking out behind Hilal. And I think this was just a good satire joke from Hilal. I think it was a joke. Or maybe it's not. But anyways, I wanted to join in on the joke and also review kids getting brutally killed in the most horrific ways possible. I'm just kidding. Pilot let his son fly the plane.
He let his son steer the plane, even though there were 75 people on board.
Oh my god, why would you do that, bro? Like, I understand he's your son and I understand you love him, but I don't care if he's your... I don't care if he's your... Oh my god, is that... Okay, that's not P. Diddy, is it? But anyways, I don't care if he's your son. I don't care if he's like some sort of pilot prodigy. I am not letting some random kid under the age of 18 fly a plane that I am a passenger of.
But the boy pushed hard on the controls, which turned off the autopilot.
Oh.
And even though a warning light flashed, the pilot didn't see it. Suddenly, the boy pushed the controls again, sending the plane into a nosedive.
Oh my god.
The pilot took over and managed to pull the plane up, but it climbed too steep, which caused the engine to stall. And without
you can still
power,
glide, you can glide.
The plane plummeted to the ground, killing every single person on board.
That is such an unnecessary death. But also, it's like the most unnecessary deaths of like the 75 passengers as well. Like, they're literally helpless. They have no choice who flies the plane, and then the stupid pilot lets his son fly it. I would be so pissed, bro. If I was in on that plane and I died in that flight, I would be so pissed. Bro, I would sue that airline for all their money, bro. What is this airline called? Aeroflot. Bro, okay, this is not even a real flight. But anyways, I would sue that airline for every single penny that airline has. So I guess like there was some sort of like safety mechanism. So he wasn't completely reckless, so they put it on autopilot so that the son could pretend that he was flying it. But bro, don't keep your son in the cockpit. Keep him in like the back. Like, keep him on like in the furthest part of the plane. Keep him in the toilet, bro. If my son was on a plane and I was a pilot, I would lock him in the bathroom for the entire flight. Correction, the plane wing stalled, not the engine, because they flew so steeply. Yeah, I was gonna say that like I'm pretty sure you can still glide the plane down even if like the engine stalls or something. That kid is gonna flex his 75 kill streak in hell. Okay, you actually have to chill. Please do not say that, bro. The kid has a 75 KD ratio. That is that's a new world record. That kid now has a higher KD ratio than some like professional COD players, bro. He should join FaZe Clan. For anyone wondering, this was Aeroflot Flight 593 in 1994. Oh wait, so it actually was. It is called Aeroflot, bro. What a horrible plane name. No offense to the plane company. These potatoes killed a whole family.
A man walked into his basement, but he never came back out.
Because P. Diddy was hiding there in his basement and proceeded to brutally diddle him.
His wife went to check on him, but she didn't come out either.
Because P. Diddy was still down there and
he still had oil left, and so he proceeded
to brutally diddle her as well.
And their teenage son did the same thing. Finally, the grandmother went in after them and collapsed in the pile of bodies. You see, the family stored potatoes in their cellar, but as they rotted, they released a toxic gas. As each family member entered, they were quickly suffocated, killed by their own spuds.
Jeez, everyone, not a single life was spared? Even the kid as well, bro. He was only a teenager. Jesus Christ. I think that's like a real thing as well. I think that's why you're not meant to store potatoes in the basement anymore, or like you're not meant to store them like somewhere. Like there's like a specific thing they tell you not to do with like potatoes nowadays. But anyways, this sort of reminds me of like what I think a lot of like Asian sort of cultures. I know my culture, like, so we sort of do this. I think it's sort of like when you're eating food like with the family, I think the oldest person is meant to eat first, and like it's not because, you know, like the oldest has like the most respect and everything. It's mainly because if the food is like has been poisoned, and like, you know, if your family has been targeted for like poison and stuff, it's so that like the oldest person can like, you know, like be the sacrificial lamb and die first, to like in order to alert everyone that it's like poison, rather than if you let the youngest people eat first, then they will get killed by the poison. And so I guess the same thing sort of applies here. I guess in this situation the grandma should have gone down there first. If two of my family members walk into a basement but don't come out, you know I'm not walking into that basement. Yeah, I think there's either two options here, two possibilities. It's either A, there are poisonous potatoes down there and they've been killed by the fumes, or B, there is a wild P. Diddy down there and they have been brutally diddled by him. The deadly prank of 1930.
They put a tack on her chair as a joke, and when she sat down, it pierced her skin. She let out a yell before laughing at the prank.
Ha 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 ha, what a hilarious prank. Ha ha ha.
Now she's gonna get Tetris.
I bet that pin was rusty. She's gonna get
Tetris and die.
But a few days later, she began to feel sick.
Tetris?
You see, the tack actually had bacteria on it, which entered
the
her bloodstream through the wound. The infection quickly spread, causing severe blood poisoning. Doctors did everything they could, but unfortunately, she didn't make it.
Jesus Christ, I would be pissed off if I was her. How could she be laughing at that joke? Oh my god, it's just a prank, it's just a prank. No, that would be painful. That would be extremely painful. Has anyone ever sat on a thumbtack? Those are painful. I've never sat on it before, but I've pricked my finger with it before and it's extremely painful. I thought she was gonna get Tetris from that and die, but I guess this is even worse. Bacteria entering the bloodstream. Bro, I bet that person used the thumbtack to pick their nose beforehand, and then that's how the bacteria got into her blood. Imagine the guilt the pranksters felt afterwards, bro. What do you mean the pranksters? You mean the manslaughterers or the murderers? I don't know what they were charged with. As long as the end result wasn't their intention, it's okay. Bro, are you stupid? Like, do you actually have brain damage? You actually might have brain damage. What do you mean as long as the end result wasn't their intention? Bro, of course, like, I've got, like, what do you like think about manslaughterers? If you threw a rock off a cliff where people were rock climbing and like climbing up that cliff and that mountain and you didn't intend to hit someone and it still hit somebody, do you think you can get away with that? It doesn't matter what the intention was. All that matters is literally the end result, as the result of your actions. Is this person okay? This person might actually have brain damage. The cat that killed 5 family members.
A cat jumped into a well full of animal waste in an Indian village, and its owner climbed in to save it.
Why would you do that? First of all, why do you have a well full of animal waste? And second of all, why would you climb into it voluntarily? Jesus Christ, bro. A well full of animal waste? Is this like a toilet for the animals? Do the animals not have their own toilets? Why would you just collect all the animal waste? Like, what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna, I don't know, turn it into like a magic potion and drink it? I actually need to find out, like, for what reason? Like, does anyone know? Okay, the comments will probably tell me, but like, for what reason would you need a well full of animal waste?
But he got trapped, and the waste had filled the well with poisonous fumes.
Oh my god.
When he cried for help, his son jumped in to save him.
Why would you jump in? The combined brain cells in this shot is like negative. How are there so little brain cells in a single shot? If somebody asked me to help them from a well, why would you jump in there? Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna, I don't know, like boost them up like in Super Mario? You're gonna let them bounce on your head like a Super Mario, bro? No, of course you would try find a rope, but now you've just nerfed yourself. You've put yourself in here, so now you can't even go and find a rope.
But he also got trapped.
Of course.
3 more members of the family tried to help, jumping in one after the other.
Why would you do that? Are you guys all idiots? Bro, 5 family members and 5 brain cells. The combination is 1 brain cell. This entire family shares a single brain cell. You know what? This is what we call natural selection. Honestly, we wouldn't want these people sharing and like passing on their genes to like the next generation of humans. I'm honestly glad. Okay, this is a bit mean to say, but like maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that this family, this gene line got discontinued. Why would you jump in? Like, what are you gonna do down there? You're just gonna, I don't know, play Uno, play cards, play poker against each other? You're gonna play like tic-tac-toe, thumb wars? You're gonna play some board games down there just to pass time? No, of course you should go to the village and ask for more help. Ask for like a rope or something, or even a ladder. I'm sure ladders were invented back then.
But they all got stuck in the well. Finally, a 6th family member entered with a rope around his waist.
Finally!
He was pulled out after the villagers heard the cries.
Bro, so it took 6 family members for one of them to think, maybe I should use a rope. Bro, they literally thought they were the main character. They thought they were gonna jump down there and save the day, but now they're gonna die there with everyone else. This is literally the definition of main character syndrome. They thought they were gonna save the day. They thought they were Superman. They thought this was gonna be the catalyst for their superpowers. They thought that if they put themselves into a life or death situation, they were gonna, like, their superpowers were gonna activate. Like, their superpowers lay dormant, latent within their body, but when faced with a life and death situation, the Alpha Sigma male unleashes itself. He thought it was gonna be able to fly out of there like Superman.
He was pulled out after the villagers heard the cries. and the other 5 men were suffocated by the well's toxic gases.
Jesus Christ. But at least one person survived. So, bro, literally 5 people died because of that stupid cat. But actually, I don't know who was more stupid, the cat or these people. How would you jump into a well full of animal waste? Like, what did they actually expect? Like, let's just try to think about this realistically. What could they have possibly expected? So they're gonna go down there and they're gonna solve it. They have brains. They have smarts. I'm gonna solve this. I'm gonna figure this out. Do they think they were gonna like run around the walls of the well like they were like Sonic or something? They were gonna do some wall runs like it was a video game? Or maybe they thought that they could find a secret passage down there. They can crack the code. Or maybe they thought that they'd be able to like do a tutorial of how he can climb out, or maybe like carry him on the back and rock climb it. It started like a superhero origin story, continued like a comedy sketch, and ended up being a tragedy. Yeah, bro, I swear they literally thought they were gonna activate their superpowers. Meow. I come, sir. 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 I use brain, sir. Yippee, I'm out. Meow, meow, meow. Runaway boy fell from a plane.
He climbed up into the plane's wheel compartment, hoping to see the world. But he didn't realize the wheel compartment door would open again in the sky. You see, he had run away from home because he wanted to travel, and when his parents caught him and put him into boarding school, he ran away from there as well. He snuck into the airport before smuggling himself onto the plane.
Bro, how do you just say that so casually? He's not like smuggled into the airport. Don't airport have really, really strict security? And so if a kid could sneak his way into an airport, I guarantee some random adult could sneak themselves into that same airport and plant a bomb at like the front of the plane. That is some horrible security. Imagine being like a passenger of that plane and some random guy just like kid plants a bomb there. Like you could literally hire kids to break into airports and plant bombs all over the plane if the security is that bad.
And as it took off, he thought he would finally get his wish. But as soon as the door opened again, the boy dropped out. And at that exact same moment, a man was testing out a new camera lens. He snapped this chilling photo, capturing the death of the boy and his dreams.
Bro, okay, that is so creepy. The fact that we caught it on camera as well, Jesus Christ. Like, the guy had good intentions. It's not like the kid was trying to, like, plant a bomb on the plane or something. He just wanted to see the world, just explore the world. But, like, at the same time, bro, I think the parents probably failed him. Like, if the parents knew that he wanted to explore the world that badly, why didn't they just take him on a plane on a holiday and so that he could actually be on a plane properly? But instead, they banish him to boarding school, like, away from home, and then he goes on, goes on the plane and just falls out of the plane. Maybe he wasn't like wanted in the first place. Like maybe his parents just hate him or something. Like based on the appearance of the parents, bro. Look at this dad over here. Wait, I can't even find it. Like look at his dad. His dad looks like he was like recently divorced. He looks like he loves beer more than he loves his son. For those wondering, this was Keith. He died on February 22nd in Sydney, Australia. Oh my god, bro. It's literally February 22nd right now as I'm recording this video. How many years ago was that? That's like 56 years ago. Damn, that's a long time ago. The mystery of the Sodder children.
A family ran from their burning home in the middle of the night. The parents and 4 kids escaped, but 5 children never made it out.
Bro, what do you mean 4 children escaped and 5 people never made it out? How many children does this family have? Jesus Christ, bro, the dad needs to chill out. The dad needs, bro, he doesn't need to reload. He does not need to reload. He just goes straight into the mother. Jesus Christ. 9 children. How could, bro, I can't even imagine 9 children. So your family is 11. You have a family of 11. That is, bro, I can't even imagine that. How expensive would that be? So this would be, I assume, I don't know, like I hope this is not like in like metropolitan. Maybe this is like on a farm. Like it would be a lot cheaper on a farm, right?
After the fire died down, rescuers searched the ash, but no remains were found. Experts said the blaze was so hot it completely cremated them, but it only burned for 45 minutes, which isn't long enough to turn bones into ash. Now, some thought the kids had been kidnapped, and others even claimed to see the children alive hundreds of miles away. The parents never stopped searching, convinced the fire wasn't the end of their children, but they have never been found.
Well, that's a pretty tricky situation then. So the facts are, so it burned for 45 minutes, but 45 minutes is definitely not long enough to burn it into like ashes and all that stuff. And so therefore they're kind of ruling that it, like they couldn't have been burned. So maybe that they're 100% alive. But I don't know, if you're trapped in a burning house and it's burned for 45 minutes and you don't see anyone go out, I'm pretty sure they're dead. I don't know, like you can't really explain why the bones are missing, but I think they are 100% dead. Or the other thought I had was that like perhaps they didn't even have 9 children to begin with. Perhaps there weren't even 5 kids in there. Maybe they literally only had 4 children, and they hadn't, like, maybe the fumes messed with their head and made them like think that they had 9 children originally. Because I don't know whether I believe this. 9 children. Like, do any of you guys know a family with like more than 6 children, for example? Not even 9, but like 6 children. I don't know anybody with like more than 6 children, and I don't even think I've heard of anyone on the news either with more than 6 children. And so maybe they just didn't have those extra 5 children to begin with, and like they were just like imagining it, and then that would explain why there were no bones, because like there were no children to begin with. My first guess is that the fire was a cover-up for a murder. Oh, okay. You know what? That's a good one. That actually makes a lot of sense, because if it was a murder, there would be no bones. The bones would maybe be buried underground, and maybe if like, so they had 9 children, and like they were, I don't know, struggling financially, they couldn't afford to, you know, keep 9 children, and so they had to do like a bit of like a culling, and so they chose 5 ones, the 5 weakest children, because of like natural selection, and then they just murdered them and kept the rest. Those 5 children possessed 5 animatronics. Okay, is this meant to be some FNAF joke? That you are sick. You are sick in the head. A deadly prank gone wrong.
They rang the doorbell and ran away, laughing as they hid nearby.
What a hilarious joke. That's hilarious. That's really funny. I like that joke. That's really funny.
But the homeowner inside was furious. He ran outside yelling and then jumped into his car. The teens ran to their car, but he chased after them in the street.
6?
As they drove away,
6 people?
He caught up to them in his vehicle. Suddenly, he rammed his car into theirs, causing them to swerve off the road. The car hit a tree and ended up killing 3 of them.
Oh my god. So 3 out of the 6 of them died. But anyways, why are they trying to fit 6 people into that car? Is that a Range Rover? I don't think a Range Rover can fit 4 people in the back seats. They charged him with attempted murder, multiple counts of murder and attempted murder. Yeah, okay, so that guy got sentenced to life in prison. Bro, imagine having such bad anger management issues that you like get so pissed off at someone ding-dong ditching you that you go and like literally kill them. Like, there's no way he rammed into the car thinking that they would survive this. Like, oh, I'm just gonna teach them a lesson. I'm just gonna ram them off the side of the road. Bro, of course, if you rammed them off the side of the road, they're probably gonna hit something. Like, these people were teenagers. They only probably just got their license, and like, bro, they like honestly probably just got their license like that same year, and they were using their license to go around ding dong ditching people, and they didn't even get to like live life with like 1 full year of a license before they got killed. I'm glad he didn't overreact. Okay, bro, why does this have 161,000 likes? You think he didn't overreact? Okay, so he got ding dong ditched, he went into his car, and he rammed the car off the side of the road into a tree, killing 3 of them. Okay, great. I'm glad he didn't overreact. So glad he didn't escalate the situation and stayed calm. A true man. Okay, why, bro? 213,000 likes. The disappearance of Bobby Dunbar.
He vanished while playing near a lake on a family trip. They searched for months, but found no trace of him.
Bro, I can find him. I literally saw him over there. He just hid behind the tree, didn't he? Did anybody else see that? I'm pretty sure he just walked behind. Yeah, he walked behind the tree and he just hid there. It's like this, bro. You can easily find him, bro. I literally saw him over there.
Then, hundreds of miles away, he was found with a handyman. Now, the family was overjoyed to find their lost son, but the handyman insisted they had the wrong boy. Courts ruled in favor of the family, and the boy was raised as their own, but decades later, a DNA test revealed that he wasn't actually their child.
What? Wait, how could you mess up that badly? Bro, I thought that this was actually like the missing child, but yeah, wait, how would it be hundreds of miles away? And why would you be searching in that exact location with that handyman? Like, why would that random handyman want your son? Like, if this guy was your son, if it was really your son, I'm sure he would be willing to give him back to you. But they gave it to the family who thought it was the missing child, but the DNA test revealed that it's not even him. Bro, of course it's not him. It's miles away. How could he get 254 miles away? Bro, that's 400 kilometers. Do you understand how long it would take for him to travel 400 kilometers? It would take, that's actually, okay, 10 to 20 days. Okay, maybe they only found him after 10 to 20 days. Okay, maybe it could have been him.
Meaning they accidentally kidnapped another boy, and their real son was never found.
Okay, so now we have 2 families with missing children. The first one, that was kind of your fault. You let the kid sort of like go off on his own. But in the second missing child, so this child is now missing because you basically kidnapped his child from him. Why wouldn't they just do a DNA test on the spot to make sure that like this wouldn't happen? And how could you like not recognize your own child? Like how many years later was this? Like surely you'd be able to look at them and realize. And also, bro, wait, the child, wouldn't the child know that he is not like the missing child? Like this child would 100% insist that he is not the child of these two people, right? Bro, so many people messed up here. Like there are so many mistakes here. Why would this guy go along with it? Actually, you know what? Maybe this guy just hated his real parents. Maybe his real parents were kind of poor. And so he saw the opportunity to switch sides and like, you know, go with this random family who was much richer so he could live a better life. And then when the DNA test says it's not a match, the kid's like, oh my god, how is this possible? Oh my god, I had no idea, frick, because then now he has to go back to his real family. The teen who fought the Nazis.
He slapped the old woman as they stole the family cows.
How can she slap? How can he slap? Ma'am, how can he slap?
While her granddaughter watched the whole thing angrily, vowing to fight against them.
The alpha
She
signal
learned
male.
how to use grenades.
Oh my god.
And helped blow up factories and supply stations, killing German troops.
Oh my god.
And at 16, she went undercover and got a job in a German army kitchen, secretly slipping poison into their food.
Oh my god.
And when they suspected her, she even ate the same meal to prove that she was innocent.
Don't swallow.
Now, she fooled the soldiers long enough to believe her, but the poison was strong and made her violently sick, and she barely survived. But German soldiers eventually caught her, and while they were questioning her, she grabbed an officer's pistol, shooting him and 2 more soldiers before the gun jammed. She was tortured, then executed at just 17, but her bravery made her a national hero.
Jesus Christ, at 17 years of age, bro, I could not imagine myself ever doing that. This woman has some balls of steel. That is actually insane. But I guess the catalyst was like her grandma being slapped. How can she slap? But to learn how to use grenades at 16 years old, but I mean, I guess like maybe this was like the reality of people growing up in the war. Like you actually had to learn these war skills and everything. But also, wouldn't it be like really sus? Because this person would be like very young in the kitchen, like in this army. I feel like she would be much younger than all the other workers in that army, right? And so she would sort of stick out like an anomaly. And so like if you had to blame someone for tampering with food, like, of course you'd try and pin it on the only anomaly in there. Like, is she even German? I thought she was Russian, and so wouldn't it be very obvious that she's not German and that she might be the one tampering it? But anyways, good on her. I could never imagine myself having enough balls to do this, but I mean, I guess it's good that she was able to do that and, like, you know, play her part in the war. She plotted her revenge faster than John Wick. Bro, that is actually insane. You shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't joke about this, bro. Because John Wick is like a fictional thing. Like, John Wick, his dog died and that was the catalyst. But then with this person, her grandma got slapped and that was the catalyst. But this was a real war against like real people, and she was a real person that died. The Lake Chelan school bus tragedy.
The bus slid off the icy road during a snowstorm, plunging 30 feet into the lake. It landed partially submerged, with its front end underwater. 6 passengers escaped through a broken window, but as they climbed out, the bus shifted and slid deeper into the lake,
break the glass
into the frozen depths with the driver and 15 students still inside. Divers later found the bus 210 feet underwater, recovering only 5 bodies. The other 9 victims were never found and laid to rest in the depths of the frozen lake.
What? Wait, then where could the bodies have possibly gone? It was in a lake, so there's no sharks or anything. Wait, there's only 5 bodies, 6 of them over there, and then what is it? The 15. So that means there's like 4 left, and then the driver as well. They couldn't even recover the driver. Where could the bodies have possibly gone? Is this some okay? They're not. No, it wouldn't be like an alien abduction, right? But anyways, the thing is, like, this is not like too difficult to sort of escape, because you can see that, like, so the window has been broken above the surface, and so therefore, like, the tension, like the pressure is sort of the pressure would be equalized from outside to in. It would be a whole different story if like none of the glass was shattered before it went under. If it goes under and the glass isn't shattered, I'm pretty sure it's really hard to break like the glass, because like the pressure of the thing is like pushing it in, I think. But the glass was already broken, and so the people could have grabbed like the hammer to break the other glass, or even try to swim out, or maybe their seatbelts were stuck on. But I don't know, bro. In this situation, and I hope you guys know what to like. I hope they do this sort of training at school, like, with school buses. Like in Australia, we don't have school buses, but we just have public transport. But with these school buses, I'm sure they teach you like how to get out of it if it like sort of falls into water, right? You just have to smash the glass and just swim out. Like, just don't be afraid to swim out. Like, even if it's sharp glass, bro, it doesn't matter if you get a scratch from the glass. You'd much rather be alive and scratch than like intact and just dead. Why were babies awake during surgery?
Doctors used to believe that babies couldn't feel pain, so when they needed surgery, they wouldn't put them under. Instead, they would use that only stopped them from moving.
Oh my god. Imagine being like completely paralyzed and someone sawing through your stomach in order to what are they even doing to a baby? Why would a baby even need surgery? You've only spawned into this server for like 10 hours. What could possibly be wrong with you already in 10 hours? But anyways, bro, how could a doctor think that babies don't feel pain? You go to university for I don't know how many years. You go like 5 years or something just to believe that babies don't feel pain? Where's the science behind that? Like what year did they think that babies didn't feel pain? Was there like a certain time point where like babies suddenly could feel pain? It's just like the gravity update, like life before like Isaac Newton discovered gravity and all that stuff.
Meaning they could feel every single thing during the surgery.
Oh my god.
They couldn't move, they couldn't cry.
So that means they had no way of communicating that they were in severe pain. And since they can't even talk to you after the surgery, every single baby from then on had to go through the exact same thing. And they didn't realize until maybe somebody died. Bro, imagine being subjected to this much pain and torture and you can't even communicate it to your doctor afterwards. Like you can't even protect the next baby that's about to go into surgery. Like if you could speak, like bro, if this was me, I would force myself to learn how to speak and just shout at the doctor that I'm in pain, I can feel the pain, so that the next baby doesn't have to go through the exact same thing.
They just lay there, helpless. Finally, a baby died after getting heart surgery, and his story spread all over the news, forcing hospitals to change the way they treated babies, so they never had to suffer like this again.
What? So it literally took somebody dying for them to actually change anything? So that means if that baby didn't die, then they would still be doing this to this day, potentially. They would still be performing surgery on babies, like while they're just wide awake, but they just can't move. That's just like sleep paralysis and your sleep paralysis demon. Except your sleep paralysis demon is literally a surgeon performing heart surgery on you. This is so brutal. Wait, why are we using this emoji? Does this emoji mean crying or like laughing? I swear this emoji just means laughing. The boy with a second head.
He had another head growing right on top of his own.
Damn.
One that could blink and smile independently. And this head was actually his twin that didn't fully separate in the womb.
Oh, conjoined
It would cry
twins.
when he laughed and stare blankly when he slept.
Oh my god.
Now each head was actually functioning off of their own
Oh my
separate
god.
brains. But when he was 4, the boy was bitten by a snake, and both heads passed away together.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I think I've seen this before. I think I've talked about this in a video before. But like the fact that he could survive so long with like both of these heads, was he 6 years old, bro? I'd be like, imagine if he survived until like his 20s and stuff. Like they would have been able to like, you know, like accomplish so much research on the human body, but using this as an example, because they both had their own 2 brains. That is that is insane. For conjoined twins at the head, is it usually like they share a brain or something? But it's still a little bit creepy. But like this guy, does he sleep? Like he does not sleep. He does not need to sleep. I'm pretty sure he would still need to sleep, right? Instead of one eye open when I'm sleeping, he can literally do 2 eyes open when he's sleeping, because that's still like half of his eyes. This is the watchtower. He can never be caught lacking ever. But then I guess he got caught lacking by the snake, bro. They should have protected this guy like with everything. They should have protected him. They should have kept him in like I was gonna say they should have kept him in like Area 51, but I think that's a little bit mean. They should have like kept him like in like a massive in a bubble to just protect him from everything. But imagine if only one of the heads died. Like imagine like if one of the heads died from the snake bite, and then that meant that they could like slice off the other head, and then like they could, I don't know, like do some reconstruction or something. 2 heads think better than one being real quiet since this dropped. Okay, you actually have to chill. Horrifying to imagine having 2 heads, bro. This is not horrifying. This is literally, it's just conjoined twins. Like it's a real thing. The disappearance of Asha Degree.
In 2000, a 9-year-old girl named Asha packed a book bag and left her house in the rain. Now, it was really early in the morning. A passing motorist saw her walking along the highway. He circled back, but as he approached, Asha ran into the woods.
Bro, what do you expect? Of course, if you drive by with a car and circle back, this girl is gonna try run away from you. It literally looks like you're trying to kidnap her. I think if you wanted to help, you would probably just stop your car and just, I don't know, like walk up to her to signal that you're safe. But anyways, I assume this person is just going to school. I assume she just walks to school. But bro, at 9 years old, how could you trust your kid to be able to walk to school? Like maybe if you live next door to school, maybe, but if you have to walk any longer than 5 minutes, I would not trust my 9-year-old kid to walk to school.
By daylight, Asha was gone, leaving behind only a few belongings in a nearby shed. And despite extensive searches and multiple leads, no trace of her was found. A year later, her book bag was found in a construction site covered in a plastic bag, but it revealed nothing about what happened to her.
I mean, I can figure out what happened. If it's inside a plastic bag, then I think this may have been intentionally discarded and just trying to be hidden, because then the dogs would have been able to sniff it if it was outside the bag, right? But if it's inside the bag, it makes it slightly harder to smell, and so this was probably a murder or something.
No one knows why she left or where she was going. Her disappearance remains one of the most puzzling unsolved cases in the United States.
What? So she's still gone? She's completely gone? We haven't solved it yet? So in 2000, she was 9 years old, and so now she would be 30-something if she was still alive, but her book bag is gone. And so, wait, she was found in a construction site, but her body was not found. And so that sort of maybe suggests that her body was sort of I don't know, ripped to shreds, mutilated, and ground up by all of the construction equipment. That is horrifying. They never specified why she left the house though, but I assume she was going to school, unless she, I don't even know what could happen here. Actually, I have a theory. Maybe she had unrestricted internet access, and then she, was online chatting to somebody who she thought was another 9-year-old, but in reality it was just some random PDF file, and then they sort of arranged to meet up, and then she went and she was walking there, and maybe they were meant to meet up in the woods or something. But I don't know. If that was the case, that is exactly why we do not support iPad kids. We do not condone the existence of iPad kids. If you turn your kid into an iPad kid, they're gonna eventually go onto some random chat site and just speak to some random PDF file. I bet they're gonna go into some random Discord server and find some random PDF file. The most recent update from the FBI was 13 days ago. Investigators searched the property and one-time suspect. Investigators searched a property that was one time owned by a suspect for the case. She was declared a homicide victim by 2024. So yeah, I knew it, bro. I knew this should have been a homicide or something, because bro, it's the plastic bag. If you're putting someone's belongings into a plastic bag, then it means that somebody has somebody's picked it up and is trying to maybe hide it.